After an absolute drubbing in the opening game against Georgia, has Clemson's Cade Klubnik finally arrived in college football? Let's dive into the tape and talk about the things that he's starting to do far more confidently and with regularity. Well, first of all, he's having, by statistics, the best season of his career, completing, career best in completion percentage at 64.3%, touchdown percentage at 9.8%, yards per attempt 8.5. He's throwing the football down the field, and adjusted yards gained on each pass attempt 9.85, a low interception percentage at 1.4%, and yards per game at 243.8 yards. So everything that he's doing right now, third down all the way through, it's getting better. And what we're seeing is, one, Clemson's doing a little bit more to help him out with some easy buttons. Here, you've got a real quick read on third down, getting the ball out to one of your playmakers. You're going to have the tight end here and come around the offensive formation. The outside receiver is going to take this up the field. And then what they want to do is they just want to get this inside receiver coming up and then over. So you're going to kind of clear out everyone there, throw the ball underneath. One, it allows you as the quarterback to read a simple thing on third down, get the ball out, especially because this is the first drive at this point, get the ball moving, complete that first down, boom, get it out and get going. So I like what they're doing offensively to help Cade a little bit more in the intermediate and the quick game parts of it. One, to get him more comfortable, get him confident going throughout the game. And then you're adding some play action to an air raid offense. Yes, it's not under center. I do think they're going to work on that a little bit, hopefully going into the rest of the season. But you see the confidence. I think he's reading the defense in this area in the first 15 in the scheme and the script pretty well. Later in games, we'll talk about it. But at the end of the day, I do believe he's doing a good job of operating their offense with not just confidence, but accuracy. This is a really nice throw in the quick game. It's very simple. What they want is they want this receiver, the left receiver, to come up and turn and extend into this area. That's what they want him to do. And they're going to use a jet sweep motion on the right-hand side, come all the way around, and then go upfield. And that's naturally they want to get this defender, this guy, to move off and go this way, and then create a triangle. You're going to throw into that triangle in that window, and this is exactly what Cade sees as the play unfolds. They get the movement, so he's reading number 3. And that's where if 3 comes over here and kind of backs off a little bit, and then you have the movement from the underneath defender on the left-hand side out here, you're going to create a little window on the left side of the defense. And this is exactly where Cade's looking at. So 3 comes off, and you have this triangle like we just talked about, right? Triangle right here. And now, because you have the widening of the left side of the defense, Cade's going to throw this exactly where he should, into this area of the football field. Now, 12 needs to keep going on his route. That's more of an advanced type of wide receiver movement where you see and you understand the defense that you're reading, and you're going to keep moving into that open space. Cade throws it there, and that's where you see number 12 drop the football. It shouldn't be a catch, but he should also be moving into that open window. So nice job from Cade reading number 3, seeing that he's off an inside leverage right there. So he throws it to the open spot. 12 drops it, but good process on the quick game. You see him get back to the drop, get into the top of that drop with his footwork. Boom, ball comes out at a good arm angle, good arm slot. I think he has a good repeatable motion. Sometimes he can get up a little bit over the shoulder, and you see ball come down at an angle where the nose of the football is down. You want to correct that just a little bit so that the ball comes out and it's moving down the field, not having a natural angle downward. Because when you do that, you'll see what we just saw a little bit more, where it's down and away, or it's down closer to the knees. Sometimes that's good, sometimes it's bad, but at the end of the day, what we're seeing, he does not just look more confident, he looks more comfortable. And they're letting him use his legs in a far better way this season. Last year he had 182 rushing yards, but he already has 168 this year, which is 6.6 yards per attempt. And this is a really nice job at reading the read option, where number 11 comes down inside, so he's got a quicker angle to the quarterback, and they're going to do a nice job just reading this out, reading the play out here. He does a fantastic job putting it all the way in there. Maybe he could have left it in there just a tad bit longer, But what we're seeing here again, he pulls it and then he makes guys miss. One of the things that's really impressive to me, is that he was a track athlete in high school. He ran the 400 meter and the 4x200 meter. So he's able to use that acceleration. You guys think back to NC State where he pulled away from everybody on that 70-yard touchdown run. Here, you see him use that angle to get outside and then accelerate through that arc. And then he finishes it with a nice putting your shoulder down. I mean, at the end of the day, what are you as a quarterback if you don't have your shoulder? Maybe take a little bit less hits, Cade, because I think he's doing a really nice job of running with confidence, running with speed and athleticism to be able to get out there and make some plays. So what I'm kind of interested about is I think that while he's doing a very nice job of throwing the football down the field, gaining confidence doing so, he's also doing it without really checking some of the post-snap movement from the defenses. So they're going to actually catch him in a rotation here where you see two high safety, and then they're going to rotate a little bit, just enough to make him, I think this is supposed to be a little bit of a cover 3, but you have deep safety coming out here, this one coming out here also, but then you have like a mesh of defensive players on this side. So maybe it's a little bit of cover 3 match where you have them playing downhill. Again, I'm not entirely sure what it is, but at the end of the day, it's not the exact too high structure that he saw. And he's looking directly out here to this player first and foremost. And he's playing this defender, and he's not necessarily looking underneath here where, again, there's a receiver coming across the field, and ideally he goes with him. So he wants to hit the deep over, right? He wants to hit that deep part of the field. So they're going to have this receiver out here just come over the middle, and then you have a little bit of a switch release. So that just means outside receiver in this stack is going to release to the inside and come up and over the middle of the field. And then you have this inside receiver release to the outside, get up and go down the field. So they want to switch release that, confuse the defense a little bit, and get a little caught up on what they want to do downfield. And so, like I said, you have this safety out here that ends up, dropping all the way back. And then this one comes down a little bit. And so we have a little bit of a switch. He's down and he's back, and he's still kind of roaming around the center a little bit, waiting to see what happens. But again, Cade is going play action, and he looks to his left immediately. So you get that switch release, and then with outside leverage, he's seeing, okay, my receiver downfield, I have this throw. I can throw it to him on the inside underneath a little bit, and we should be fine. But he's throwing it high. So while he did miss the read here in the safety, he's throwing it high inside, away from that outside leverage defender, and allowing his players to go make plays. So I don't necessarily think he's seeing a lot of the safety switches, especially in this game, because they caught him a couple of times, and then he beat them in those times with either lucky throws, or in this case, throwing it high and away from one of the defenders he's trying to throw it away from. So good ball location here. It's still in front of that safety that's coming through, and then you get a little bit lucky here with the receiver bouncing off the safety and the incoming defender to be able to make a play for a big touchdown pass. So good pocket movement. Also, just want to really point out nicely here, he's going to get the snap, read through the play action, and then he steps to his right with a little bit of movement. He's got to get around the running back. He's going off here to help block, so he's just going to step to his left. Nice, calm, good footwork, staying in the pocket, throws, boom, on the money to his receiver. So I think stylistically, with the mechanics, it's all looking okay. It's just the seeing what's down the field a little bit is going to be more part of the problem. Here's where we have another one of this one is the more lucky that he got away with, because they rotate to a cover 3 look this time, and then they have a robber underneath that they want to clear out that left side of the formation. So you see that we have that cover 3 look essentially when they come back out. But what they want to do here is they're going to take this receiver, a little bit of a yo-yo. It comes down, comes back around, and he's going to run a curl to the outside. Then the inside receiver is going to take this a little bit up the field towards the inside and then back out. And then they take the tight end, the sniffer tight end here, and they want to release him up the middle here. And this is where they want the inside receiver to bring anybody downfield with him. Clear that out. The same with the yo-yo motion. It's to open up that seam part of the left side of the field that they're looking for, And this is where Cade gets caught. And again, he gets lucky with the throw, but he is play action, staying in the pocket, and then you have the underneath defender here who does not really get caught up because he has downfield help with the cover 3 shell that we're seeing right here. So he doesn't have to worry about taking this receiver downfield. Instead, he keeps eyes on Cade, and then you have, again, this tight end coming up here, where initially this player wouldn't actually be with him, especially if you got too high, he'd be going with him down that middle part of the field. So he's checking over here, doesn't necessarily understand what's happening, and he throws the football anyway, and then he gets away with it. Just gets away with it, plain as day. So the robber comes underneath and should have honestly intercepted this throw. The idea for the play against what they were seeing initially is good. The process is sound. Again, good mechanics, breeding through, and then he just gets caught going right to the left, not seeing that robber underneath. Should have been a pick. Number 5 is able to make this play, luckily for him. Otherwise, this should have been an interception. So reading the defense post-snap is an area where he's going to need to get better, not just throughout this season, but as he goes forward as a player. And I think overall, at the end of the day, there's two really big things that it comes down to for him making big improvements as a processor and then a manager of the football game. Here, they get the first down, all well and good. He misses a major player over the middle of the field because he's escaping what is essentially a clean pocket. So they motion, again, they do a lot of these motions, and this is really helping out their offense, is creating a lot of big plays. You have the slot receiver is going to come down and around this time, and then he's going to go basically orbit all the way over the middle of the field here. This is the guy who's going to end up being open on this side of the play. And outside receiver is going to come down here, run a little bit of a post route on the outside, and the sniffer tight end is going to release to the inside, or assuming the outside, go up and out, so almost like a wheel route underneath that post route. And the opposite side, you're just going to have a drag. He's going to hesitate, drag right here. So we have levels concepts over the middle of the field from the left or from the right hand side of the field, and those intermediate routes and short routes. And this is exactly where I think Cade should have been. Just stay in the pocket, deliver the football. So right here, you get more play action, good protection, nothing you have to worry about. And this defender right here is the player he should be reading, because when the play comes down, he goes to the drag route right here, which he should. And Cade, knowing that this is coming open, needs to hit this route, needs to hit this over route over the middle of the field. It would generate a big explosive because they have, again, wheel route and they have a post route out here. So there'd be a lot of space for him to go into. You see that right there? This is where he'd end up throwing the football for this player. So he gets out of the pocket. Yes, they get the first down, but seeing this come through, seeing those routes unfold, you have to be able to hit those spots in the middle of the field, stand in the pocket, wait a half second longer. You don't need to escape a clean pocket. And I know that you're going to end up getting some pressure from 95 here. There's not enough. This play is open. He needs to stay, needs to hit it. And so reading the defense still and then getting out of clean pockets are some of the areas that he definitely has that he can get better at. And he does it again right here. The same motion from right to left, and he's going to be open for a touchdown right here. And instead, his eyes come down on getting out of the pocket. This is where you really need to be a little bit more in the game and just say, I'm going to get out, but keep my eyes open. I've got a route to the outside where you have this robber come down. And this is, the player he needs to be looking at is this guy right here who comes down and leaves the open middle of the field. So you have this, and then you have another tight end coming on this route right here where he goes up the field and he's also open. So yes, there's a little bit of a space where he can get outside the pocket and, look to make something happen. But right here, just step up and then throw the football behind that, replace that defender as he's coming downhill, replace him with a throw, boom, touchdown. And that's just some of the things that he's missing to the middle parts of the field. So finding those rotations down and seeing those defenders move late are some of the process points where he's going to have to get better. And he'll see this on tape where his eyes came down and then he ends up having to throw this essentially away to a one-on-one receiver on the outside. So that doesn't take away from the fact that he's playing with legitimate confidence. And on third and long situations in this football game, he was really dialed in and throwing the football to his players outside the numbers. And you've got, again, a motion to the left-hand side out here, but he's just reading pre-snap and making a decision, right? So he's essentially cutting the field in half, what we call half field reads, and you have an out route from your outside receiver. And this player is going to come up here and just run a curl. So looking at the defense here, he understands basically that he has a one-on-one on the outside left, and it is 3rd and long. And then you have, again, number 3 coming over, but passing off. So we have more rotation. This time it's not going to matter as much, but he tells this on this linebacker right here that you have the curl route. I'm coming out here as number 8 is going to back out. So we already have a better matchup as they rotate back to a cover 3, and this time he attacks the outside because you have that late rotation. It's a good play, it's a good move, a good reading from him to be able to just see to get the football out there. So this was a good pre-snap read, a good execution, and he is throwing the football outside the numbers up and high and away for his players because he's got tall, big players on the outside that can make plays, and he's dropping it over those defenders as they're coming up underneath regardless of where they are. So again, he gets away because again, they're not going into a cover 2 where you have an underneath defender here, but even if they did, he's locating the football pretty well outside and high to where his big play guys can come and make that play. It's the same thing right here where you get this receiver out here on the left-hand side. This time, you see they're trying to mug up the middle here on 3rd down, right? They want to get this all confusing. So everyone's coming up here, and they end up rushing 5, dropping out a couple guys on the outside to take away those quick throws to the middle of the field right there. So he just puts this right over that defender as he's getting through there. Another out route, but away from number 3 as he's getting into that. So the outside the numbers down the field outside the numbers down the field throws that he's putting on the money to his receivers up and away with velocity and accuracy, they're hitting, and he's in rhythm. He's doing a really nice job of making these plays and executing them. The part for me that he does need to work on is the middle of the field, and that's part of the reason why we saw them take that away, is that they're getting to the point now where he's having to beat teams with throws to the outside, and he's getting better at it. He's getting good at it. He's getting confident with it, but he needs to start hitting the middle of the field with regularity and confidence as he's doing these outside the numbers throws. So I think we're seeing the confidence come through. He's playing a lot better. I think the offense is giving him better answers. The quick game is good. I think the mechanics are there too. He's just got to start reading the middle of the field and seeing those rotations. I think that we'll start to see him get much more improved as a player, not just from the pocket, from all different aspects of the game. So I think while the confidence is there, he's still quite not ready to take that full next step, but he's much more improved at this point now with using his legs and actually hitting some of these outside the numbers and pushing the ball down the field than he ever has been in his career. So that's a great step forward for Cade Klubnik, who's playing a lot better. Clemson's playing with a lot of confidence, and they are now riding a 5-game win streak. I think that he's going to improve his draft stock. I'm not sure if he's going to come out yet, but at the end of the day, making those improvements is a huge step in the right direction. So hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown of Cade Klubnik and what he's done so far this season to where he's playing with that confidence level and getting into the right headspace as he moves forward this season. If you guys are new to the TDN channel, please hit that sub button right now, hit the like on the way out, and I'll see you guys next time.